We are live. Good morning. We are talking touchdowns. I'm your host, Astaire. There's my logo, but Tyler is with me. How you feeling this morning, Tyler?
I'm feeling good. Sunday, we got football. Just try and find some winners.
All right, let's do this. What's up to everybody in the chat? Let's review some things right off the bat. There's some lines that move, but first of all, tell me what your favorite play for the day is. We have a lot that we like today, but what is your favorite?
Now, my favorite's definitely Detroit minus the 3. I think they crushed Atlanta. I don't think Atlanta's all that good. I think Ritter stinks. I think that Jahmyr Gibbs has a big game, and I just don't think Atlanta's a very good football team. Getting Detroit as a field goal here, I think it should be closer to like 5, so I'll take that as a minus 3 right there.
Yeah, a lot's being made about. We talked about last week that Atlanta matched up well against Green Bay. And they're saying, okay, maybe Atlanta will match up well against Detroit as well, with them being unable to stop the run. But you and I are in lockstep here with this minus 3. Let's see some other lines that move. Now, the Colts have taken money. The Ravens injury report is bad. And I think that's one of the reasons why. Well, plus people like those bigger dogs as well. What do you think of here of this Ravens play? It's down to minus 7.5.
I'd use it in a teaser. I'm not a proponent of laying these bigger numbers over a touchdown.
All right. The one I also want to talk to you about. So we didn't have a play on this game, but I've been wanting to bet the Patriots all week. But that injury report is so bad. What are you thinking here about the Patriots and the Jets? I don't think we talked about this game that much yet.
It's a complete stay away for me. There's supposed to be crazy rain, terrible weather, wind gusts. In a game like that, the total's already down to 35.5.
Isn't that crazy?
Complete stay away for me.
I mean, it feels like you should tease the Jets here. Plus 2.5 on a total of 3.5, going up to 8.5.
Yeah, but I could see them losing the game like 10-0.
Yeah, I just don't want to bet on the Jets. A game that has a lot of people going back and forth is the Chargers and the Vikings. That game's at a pick. It's been all over the place. What do you think, Tyler? I'm feeling like this is an NBA game. Why not just bet whoever goes down early at plus money? You're going to be able to chance to go back, right?
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. Unless, I mean, I could see one team just cruise. If Minnesota grabs the lead, I could see them cruising.
Right. I mean, when we are NBA games, it doesn't work perfect. But, I mean, doesn't it just feel like what we used to do, live bet in the NBA all the time? Just, one team goes up, you're going to get at least plus 150 if it's a touchdown on the other side. And I have a feeling this game's going to be back and forth. We both like the total here of 54. Anything else you want to throw in on that one?
No, well, one thing, I like the Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. He hasn't scored yet. It's week 3. You're getting plus 105 on that. He should have scored last week on Thursday night, drops the ball out of bounds, touchback rule, which is one of the stupidest rules. So I think he gets in the end zone right here against the Chargers again, plus 105. So love his anytime touchdown.
And a perfect timing because Jonathan Nelson just jumps in the chat and you give out a Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. So there's another one that we're on here. The Tennessee Titans are plus 3, Tyler, all the way out to plus 107. I can understand why the Cleveland Browns have been taking money. This is a top 5 defense. This is a team that you've been high on for a while. And boy, it is tough to take Tannehill, but Deshaun Watson hasn't looked that good either. Give the people your thoughts here on the Tennessee Titans catching 3 in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm on the Titans. I got 3.5 on DK. I mean,
oh, great. Yeah, because it's plus 3, plus 107 on Tennessee.
They lose Chubb last week, which is the engine of their entire team. They're going to play a team that has the best rush defense in the league, it looks like. So they're not going to be able to run the ball with Ford or Hunt, who just came back. It's going to force Watson to be a passer in this matchup. And watching him play, spread, I'm not really sure he has it anymore. So I'm going to play the you got to beat me game here. I think that Tennessee can do enough and win this game. So give me that plus 3.5.
Tyler, this Packers line is flipped. It was -1 when we were working on Tuesday. It's +1 right now. Are you surprised? I'm shocked.
I mean, Aaron Jones is out. Christian Watson's out.
Okay, but didn't we know that when we were working on Tuesday?
Aaron Jones practiced all week.
Okay.
And I think
He's worth 2 points. I mean,
Watson practiced limitedly, and he will also be out. I mean, it's just one of those things. You look at last week; they had similar weapons, and it was just the late mistakes from young players that lost them that game against Atlanta. They make young mistakes here; they could lose this game.
I'm still not worried about Derek Carr outdoors. I think you're getting a gift. Plus 101 on the money line here.
I mean, yeah.
I still like the Packers a lot here.
Yeah, I think they win the game, but I see the route where he makes a couple mistakes. The Saints win an ugly game.
Yeah, that can happen. I still like the Packers a lot. That's my favorite play. Buffalo Bills are down to -5.5, but this total hasn't moved. What are your thoughts on, or your thoughts? And what have you been hearing about this storm that's coming in? And when we originally did this line, we liked the over 44. It was 43 when we talked to Meg on Thursday. Now it's back to 44. Are we getting good news on the weather here? What are you hearing here? And who do you like between the Bills and the Commanders at -5.5?
Yeah, they said the rain's supposed to clear before the game starts.
So that's why these totals are going back up.
Yeah, love the over in the Buffalo game. I think Josh Allen and his guys just kind of put it on him. Second week in a row spread. All we see, as we sit here, is this number just is going the opposite way of Buffalo.
Right.
It was 6.5. I'm seeing 5.5 now. They're going to go out there. They're going to put pressure on Howell. Every team that's played him has been able to already. That offensive line is terrible. He did look decent against Denver, but again, just all the pressure that's been on him. And Denver just can't get out of their own way. They're not a good football team. Buffalo's going to put points on the board here. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I still think they win the game by at least a touchdown, though. Give me Buffalo.
All right. You like the Bills there. I really wanted to play the Commanders here, but we missed that line movement. So, if I want to cheer for these Commanders, I'm going to have to hope the Bills go up early. What if I told you, Tyler, that it was 7-0 in the first quarter and I got the Commanders at like +10.5?
I'm telling you no.
Don't do it?
Nope.
Okay. You're worried that this team could get...
Just look at how last week played out for both. Well, just mainly for the Buffalo game.
Okay.
Raiders offensive line, weaker unit. Even with the pass rush just not having huge names, they got pressure play after play. We watched 2 weeks in a row. Washington's offensive line has put Howe in bad spots. He's had to make the best out of just anything. You don't think Buffalo is just going to pressure him like they did the Raiders?
All right. That's you're not counting on that.
And I also don't think Washington's secondary is good enough to make Josh Allen make the mistakes that he did in the Jets matchup.
Well, yeah, that's for sure here. So it really comes down to how does the Bills do against the Commanders team, and how do these Commanders look back at home? A team that you said that sucked and a line that actually moved against us, Tyler. The Denver Broncos are taking money. Why?
Jalen Waddle was ruled out.
Okay.
I mean, that just leaves them with guys like me and you playing wide receivers 2 and 3. Like, you just look at their weapons room. It's like Tyreek Hill and the end of a college.
Me and Tyreek Hill is a lot better wide receiver room than some of these receiver rooms.
I mean, right? I agree. But he sprained.
We're better than me and Tyreek Hill is a better wide receiver room than the New England Patriots have.
He sprains an ankle. He's throwing to the end of a college basketball bench for the rest of the game. So that's the thing. Mostert's made of glass too. Their offense, it's good when healthy, but it's just very fragile. I think it's also the thing. Denver's 0-2. Everyone had the high hopes.
Okay. And so you're going for the kitchen sink and the idea that teams that are 0-2 to start the season are 63% against the spread in week 3, and it makes sense. There's nothing to leave in the playbook. But my counter to you is going to be that I just don't think Denver's very good.
No, I don't think they're very good either.
I don't think that Russell Wilson's going to be able to be rehabilitated. I think that he's done. I mean, Sean Payton's got to be sitting here going, "What have I done? Well, why did I join this sinking ship?" You know, I could coach Herbert or someone with some actual ability here. Vic Fangio is going to be huge in this game. I think the Broncos are really going to have problems scoring. I like the Dolphins at -6, and I also like a Broncos team total under. What do you think about that, Tyler? Am I putting too much into this here?
I'd rather take the -6. The team total under worries me. I mean, they did put up 30+ points last week. They have receivers that could beat deep coverage. I know Russ doesn't look the best, but the dude could still put points on the board.
So you don't make so I can't take this under 20.5 for this.
I think they can get to. I think they can get to 21.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm on the opposite side. I like. I think the Dolphins are really going to put it on them. So we'll see how this goes. And obviously a referendum game for the Denver Broncos, because if they lose here, it's going to be tough for them to come back. I think it's a terrible matchup. They're traveling across the country. They go from altitude to heat and humidity. They're going against what I think has been, besides the 49ers, the best team we've seen. Definitely the best team in the AFC. Who's played better so far, Dolphins or Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Okay, and I guess I can't argue that. So, best team in the AFC there. We talked the Falcons, Lions already. We talked some Ravens, Colts. Seahawks, Panthers. That's another one where the dog's taking money.
I don't know if the dog's taking money. It's just a quarterback change made the money. Everyone's seen rookie quarterback turn to a vet, and I think it's just all the old guys betting that number.
I think that's terrible. I don't want to bet on Andy Dalton. Why is everyone so excited about Andy Dalton?
I think that's just what people are doing. I don't think that number should have moved that way. I think Seattle still will be able to move the ball through the air. Kenneth Walker will score a touchdown on the ground. I still think they win the game.
Yeah, I still like Seattle there. I think Carolina's really bad. And they looked a lot better under Steve Wilkes. I was listening to Lombardi yesterday, and he was talking about the fact that they are not lining up under center enough, and they're just basically not able to run the ball. And some of those strengths from last year's team that the Panthers were supposed to build upon, they're disappearing. The defense hasn't been as good. Let's see. I think Geno moves the ball pretty well here through the air, and I like the Seahawks here laying 5. We talked about the Cowboys. You said they look better than the Miami Dolphins. Do they look good enough to be laying 12 against the Cardinals?
Yes. I think they're the best team in football spread. They're going to play this cupcake schedule that the Eagles played last year. Okay. Not exactly as easy, but it's pretty easy. They're going to win like 14 games. I think Dak's going to finish top 3 in MVP voting, and they're going to make a strong run at the Super Bowl.
I hope so, because I have him as quarterback in one of my season-long fantasy leagues, and they're crushing it. He's not putting up any points.
I just think it's one of those things like he's going to be on a top 2-seeded team in the NFC.
Okay.
If they pass up Philly and win the NFC East, it gives them a better chance. And even with him not putting up fantasy numbers, he probably still finishes the year around like 4,000 to 4,500 yards, somewhere around like 30 touchdowns. And if he keeps the picks in single digits, he's also a Dallas quarterback, which everyone loves. He's probably going to win that award if nobody else separates themselves.
All right, so Tyler's loving that. Yeah, I don't see how you can back Arizona here. I know they covered last week, right? But that was against the New York Giants, a team that we're not really sure about as far as how good they are, which is really disappointing because I was high on the Giants preseason. But they're sitting at 1-2. More importantly, they have not played well. So let's see if Dallas can do what the Giants could not do, and that's blow out the Cardinals in Arizona. The Chicago Bears are another team catching a ridiculous amount of points, plus 12.5 here. On these big spreads, I would rather lay it with the Chiefs, personally. If let's say I gave you the proverbial $100 and you had to bet either of these 12-point spreads, would you take the Cowboys or the Chiefs here, Tyler?
I'm taking the Cowboys 10 times out of 10 over the Chiefs.
And why is that?
The Chiefs have I don't know the exact numbers, but I've seen a stat put out. It's like when Mahomes is a double-digit favorite, he's like 2-10 ATS. He just doesn't cover these big numbers. Like they probably win that game by a touchdown. They let Fields and them hang around a little bit longer than people think. And Dallas's defense is similar to how you talk about Baltimore. They just like to beat the hell out of teams. Like if they go out and they're all over Dobbs and they score a defensive touchdown, strip sack, or a pick six, they're not comfortable with just taking the lead and just sitting on it. They still send pressure. We seen them last year in that Colts game spread and week 1 of this year. Their defense will just hound teams from start to finish. Like if they blanked Arizona today, I don't think it would really surprise a lot of people.
Yeah. All right. So Tyler says, take the Cowboys if you're going to lay it. You know, you made a good argument there. That dysfunction around the Bears organization seems tough for them to overcome. Let's see how Justin Fields does this week after all the controversy surrounding his press conferences. Do you think they'll run the ball with Fields more because of what he said, or do you think that that's a non-issue?
I think they have to run it with him more. That's what it's got the offense going last year. I see why they went away from it, but at the same time,
I don't. When you get a guy like that, I don't see why you don't just run him into the ground like a running back and then just not resign him.
You don't want to do that with a guy that you want as your franchise quarterback.
You don't want that guy as your franchise quarterback, though.
I agree, but they think that that's their franchise quarterback, so they want to.
I think that they're changing their mind pretty quickly when they're going to be drafting one of these guys this year. I wonder what he ends up getting traded for.
Welcome to Caleb May season, and San Francisco probably gets to right all their wrongs and just get the guy they probably should have drafted in Fields.
Bro, I'm a complete casual, but that Washington QB.
Who? Oh, Penix.
Dude, that dude was dropped. I know it was against, I think it was Cal Berkeley,
that's the thing.
He was dropping dimes.
He looks like he's throwing on air every time. Like there's just no one else on the field when he throws the ball.
Dude, this is the craziest quarterback class. I mean, I think Chicago was smart for not taking Bryce Young.
You wanted to, there was one team that sent a scout to the Oregon-Colorado game yesterday. Any guesses?
I'll make it quick.
It's one of your guys.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Really? Okay. Why is that?
I don't know why, but maybe they're getting out of the Kenny Pickett thing already, Spurred. Maybe they're looking at Bo Nix and Shedeur Sanders.
I mean, Kenny Pickett shouldn't have been a first-round quarterback.
No.
The quarterbacks get so overdrafted now.
Yeah, I agree there.
10, 15 years ago, he would have been a third, fourth rounder.
For sure.
So, really? So, Josh, and Josh, let me say, like, I'm a complete casual. When it comes to these things, we're going to bring on the college guys, and they're going to lead the way. But everything that I've heard of is everybody loves these quarterbacks.
I think the top two are like how everyone was like Fields and Lawrence are like very close, and they should be like. There's the argument Fields maybe should go above Lawrence, and like looking back on that, there was never a chance.
There's no way.
I think in the end, there's a chance that everyone's like, Drake maybe should have went one over Caleb. Like the hype was there.
Dude, I think that kid from Washington might end up being the best one.
I think the kid at watching the kid at UNC play, it's like, oh, he has it. Like you watch him play.
Well, I mean, the whole league's going to change next year. You're going to be able to get a guy that was probably better than Bryce Young, like at pick 10.
Yeah, like I don't know about that. Because I think if Bryce was in that class, I think he would go 2 behind.
No way.
I think he would. I think Caleb goes 1, Bryce goes 2.
Let's ask Clyde's question. Survivor this week. So let's just say you're still alive, and this is where Survivor questions get tough because.
Well, the first question we got to ask him is who's the 2 teams we already used. We need to know that.
So. I got a fun one. Win, like the Bears and like Houston. Well, Clyde, I got a song for you called the Super Bowl Shuffle that you need to check out, and you'll see.
I got a fun bet for the people spread.
All right, what is it?
We're gonna call it they have to score eventually touchdown parlay.
Mm-hmm.
None of these guys have scored yet. Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, CeeDee
Don't
Lamb,
put Cooper Kupp in there.
CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, 60-1.
All of them?
60-1.
All right, read that off for the people one more time.
Justin Jefferson, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, 60-1 anytime touchdown parlay. They have to score eventually parlay.
All right. Let's dive in here. Well, so what do you want? Let's talk about the Raiders and the Steelers first, and then we'll give me some people some props. So, Tyler, our two favorite teams will play tonight. Boy, I have another party. Boy, a lot of parties this weekend. A lot of people having birthdays. I was thinking, I was like, is it right near New Year's Eve? Is that why there's so many birthdays right now? The Las Vegas Raiders it'll be our first home game, right? And your first road game here.
Yep.
This game is divided. And we talked about it on Wednesday, and I think that, you guys made good arguments as far as, Pittsburgh, the offenses looked rough, but they played two top 5 defenses. Now they're playing a bottom 10 defense. Las Vegas, this is their first home game. They look good against Denver. Things kind of fell apart against Buffalo, but that was a tough situational spot. Should be crazy in there for their first home game. Who do you like and why?
I mean, I like the Raiders. The Steelers never travel well going West Coast. They just don't look like a good offense. I don't think you're getting 2 defensive touchdowns to help you pad a lead here like they did last week against Cleveland. Jacoby Myers will be back for the Raiders. I think him and Devontae Adams separate quick enough to where the pressure's not really going to matter for Garoppolo. He can get the ball out quick. I just think their weapons are going to have their way. They'll be able to run the ball with Josh Jacobs too. They're not going to get put behind, so he'll just get the volume also. I don't think their defense is up against much of a threat in this Pittsburgh offense. I mean, outside of Pickens having one big play, their offense stinks. So give me the Raiders here -3. I think they crush them. I think they win the game by about a touchdown. I'm fully out on this Pittsburgh team spread.
Well, I hope you're right. My worry is, that run game. I think that this Raiders offense could be a get-right spot for a struggling defense. So how is it like to be Matt Canada in your neighborhood? I mean, I can't imagine they can even go to the grocery store.
They hired somebody, some dude from a movie, like an older guy. I forget what his name was. He did the cameo thing. They were like, he was oh
yeah, I saw that. And he said
they were trying to get him fired.
So that guy's actually in a great show. He was famous for Breaking Bad, but on Netflix there's a Borgia show, and he played, I can't even remember the guy's name now. Rodrigo Borgia, whatever. The guy that becomes the Pope. Oh, it's one of the best performances ever. Sorry, go ahead.
Huh?
So I was just saying that actor's in a really good Borgia
Oh, no. I was just looking for the one thing because they brought up an article about Matt Canada earlier today. I believe he's taking some kind of new role on the offense, it said, which is just not good.
I mean, to a certain extent, though, right? It's got to be hard to call a plays for a quarterback that's so limited.
It says Matt Canada. The Steelers are moving OC Matt Canada to a more prominent role working with quarterback Kenny Pickett. Canada will continue calling plays, but we also working directly with Pickett on a daily basis. And everyone was like, well, what was he doing before this?
Yeah, I guess that's a good question. All right, so I hope you're right here, but we will see. Let's talk about props, Tyler. That's really your specialty. One of the reasons we started working together, right, is I got a pretty solid sides and totals model, and you're really good with the individual props. And that's the great part about the Sunday shows. When we were doing shows earlier in the week, a lot of the numbers weren't out. But now we have a full board, a full menu. And people probably don't want to put 10 bets in, but give the people a couple that you like here that you're going to play this morning. And I got mine pulled up, so we're also going to play a little what's the price compared to offshore in the legal books. Your favorite props for the week.
We'll go right back to that Justin Jefferson anytime touchdown. Love that one.
Okay.
Getting the line pulled up right now. Bijan over 3.5 receptions in the Atlanta-Detroit game. I think they fall behind. I think you get a ton of pass work.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can catch 7 catches this game, so 3.5 there. Love that. I want to get in on these Bills somehow. I don't know if it's the Josh Allen props like on the passing touchdowns or if it's targeting Diggs, who could have a big day here, or just going back to our guy James Cook with the rushing and receiving yards. But definitely want to get in there. And then Calvin Ridley, anytime touchdown in his receiving yards in that Houston game. I think he crushes. No Derek Stingley on the other side, who's their best corner. I think he's in for a big one.
I forgot to bring that game up. My apologies. What are your thoughts there? So you would think that Jacksonville would just crush them, but Houston's 9-1 straight up against them over their last 10.
Yeah, I think they keep it decently close. They got back a couple offensive linemen this week too, so Stroud should have a
Who
little
did
bit more
Houston?
time.
They got Laramie Tunsil back. I know that.
Yeah, and they got another guy back. I don't know exactly who it was, but I did hear the news that they landed two of their offensive linemen back from injury that were supposed to be starters. That'll give Stroud a little bit more time. Who's looked half decent, spread. I think he might
looks good.
I think he might be the one that makes me eat the whole Ohio State quarterback suck thing. But
It's not going to be the guy from yesterday, that's for sure.
No, it's definitely not going to be that guy.
I don't know who that is, but I watched that game and I turned UW on, and I'm like,
that guy might be killing my whole shtick of like you could just throw anybody in that spot to throw to these receivers because he can't even throw the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr.
And that's going to be a crazy one too, leaving him on the board because to me, besides injury, Marvin Harrison's like a sure thing, right?
I agree.
It reminds me of when we drafted Jamarcus Russell over Calvin Johnson. It's like that's like a sure thing.
But if you're a team sitting at 2 and you already have your quarterback, like you just ransom it off. You just back up a few picks because it's like, yeah, in the end you might back up one too many picks to get him. But everything extra that comes with it, I think, would just be too much to pass on.
Like I said, I'm not a scouter. I'm not a pro, but that's one of the best looking receivers I've seen in the last 5 years.
Yeah. He's getting the Wembanyama treatment spread. They said his floor is T. Higgins and his ceiling is Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, some of that is stupid, but I mean, when I was a kid, anyone that was over 6'5" and could dribble was the next Magic Johnson. So
yep.
We know how the media. I remember Lamar Odom, the next Magic Johnson. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? All right, sorry, we're getting back on track though. Props. So you gave out. Let me pull this up because I got to put them in. Jacksonville Jaguars, Calvin Ridley, anytime touchdown, right?
Yep.
All right, doing that one right now.
And then Justin Jefferson's anytime touchdown.
I already got that one in. What was the other Ridley one? Or did you want to? Who was over 3.5? Bijan Robinson?
Yeah, Bijan over 3.5 receptions.
Okay, I like that one a lot too. What do you think of this one that Jonathan Nelson threw in the chat? Jordan Addison over 49.5 yards.
I don't mind that one. I think he could have a big day also. He could also get that one catch. I mean, we've seen the 2 bombs for touchdowns in the first couple weeks.
Dude, I like Addison a lot. We talked about it a lot during the best ball season that we thought that him and JSN were going to be tough to see who was going to have a better rookie season, but we like both of them. They're getting drafted right around the same area. Now, I'm not saying that Addison will have a better career, but I'd say for this season, he's set up to have a lot more success in that number 2 role there. So, yeah, hey, Jonathan Nelson, I'm going to go with you there. And like I said, that's our NBA game of the day. That's the game we think you are. Just wait for a team to go down by 7 or 10. Grab that plus 150. I think you're going to be able to great chance to get it on the other side. So we got this Calvin Ridley in. I'm getting this Bijan Robinson in right now. While I find this Bijan Robinson, talk to me about what you want to do for any more props.
I mean, that was pretty much it. I try not to get too exposed to them week by week anymore. So just those couple for me, and that's pretty much it.
All right, I'm on receiving yards here. I got to go to receiving touchdown. Okay, well, let's. People want to go. They want to start. Getting ready. I think I might even try and go to the store before we kick off. We're gonna have a great day here today, but let's just say they only have money for a couple bets. They only want to do sides and totals. What is your best bet for the day, Tyler?
Miami Buffalo 6-point teaser. Knock them down. They both win those games.
All right, Miami and Buffalo in a teaser. For my best bet, we've talked about games that I've really liked here so far.
And if for some reason you don't like one of those teams or want to use a different team, I don't mind using Baltimore in that spot.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you there too. I think Baltimore's going to get teased a lot. Let's see how this goes. Did I put any teasers yet? I did not. Okay. My best bet for the day. I don't know if you're going to like this time.
This tweet definitely can't age well, right? The one guy tweeted, he said for the 3rd straight week, Bill's safety, DeMar Hamlin, healthy and active. And then he puts dot, and then he says, maybe they're just waiting for him to be fully healthy before they play him again. Like, that's going to probably get you some backlash.
Yeah, it might. Boy. So who are your teaser options here?
Miami, Buffalo, Baltimore. Don't mind Seattle. I don't mind the Chargers up either.
Yeah. I think if you go up with the Jets.
I'm just not betting that game.
I'm not either, but it just like off principle, right? If I don't tell you teams, I don't tell you situations, and I just say I got a team of plus 2.5 and the total is 35.5. I mean, it just feels
but it's once you look at the game, it's a no for me.
The reason it's a no is because Belichick traditionally owns the Patriots and Zach Wilson specifically.
Yeah, so I'm not teasing that game.
He's missing 3 of his 4 top corners, though.
I'm not teasing that game up and going to bed at 4:00 spread.
I might have a nap in my future. Well, I was in the East Bay last night. Oh, you didn't answer my question in DM, Tyler. Do you know who Mac Dre is?
No, I've heard that name before, but there's like 12
Dude, I hadn't heard that.
Like there's so many better wagers than teasing up the goddamn New York Jets.
I think I have to do one now. I got to do it now. All right, Tyler.
You can stress yourself out with that bet.
Actually, you're right. No, I'm not doing it. All right. Dolphins. I'll do Dolphins and Ravens. What do you think of that one?
I like that one.
All right, let's go. All right. So, but my best bet of the day, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers. I know you have some trepidation here with Christian Watson being out. I just like this Packers team a lot. I think the Saints team's a little overvalued. I mean, whoop-de-doo. What, they beat the Titans at home? Derek Carr's never been good on the road. This team's never traveled well. Green Bay gets some nice home field advantage here with Lambeau. Probably one of the biggest home field advantages left in football. What do you think of this, Tyler? I heard a lot of people on their models, and I've still been doing 3. They're down to 2.5 for home. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the fans are traveling more, so like it's just not as meaningful.
I was thinking the travel's so easy.
Yeah, that's
they're in like jets and they can sleep and.
Yeah, they're not having to deal with all that extra stuff that they used to. So, yeah, I mean,
and I don't think that they go out and party like they used to either.
Yeah.
Okay, so my best bet is the Packers. Give the people your best bet one more time.
My best bet was the Miami Buffalo teaser.
All right, and you like the Miami Buffalo teaser. I went with the Miami Baltimore variation of it. So there you have it. Some picks Tyler's gave out as far as the props. He likes Justin Jefferson anytime TD, Jamar Chase anytime TD. Who was the other ones that we put in there? I'm pulling it up right now. Give me the other ones real quick, Tyler. Because I'm switching between accounts because I play more of my props on Bet Online and I do Bookmaker for sites and totals. So Calvin Ridley, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. Who else do we want for anytime touchdown?
Amari Cooper.
Coop?
Yeah, and then I like Jamar Chase on Monday night.
All right. There you have it. So there's a fun touchdown parlay. And, of course, you can be like me and be a risk-averse nerd and just play them all individually, which is what I did. So, Tyler, that's it for us. Looking forward to a fun day of football. Of course, the keg will be taking over on this channel, depending on, I don't know what time my girlfriend's getting here. Maybe I'll jump on and kick it with them for a little bit. But let me see what's going on. But any final words of wisdom for week 3 before we jump out of here?
No, just tune into the shows and make some money today. Ton of football games, ton of sports on. Definitely going to make some money on the YouTube channel. Just make sure you tune into these videos.
All right. Sounds good. I was going to hit you with an outro real quick, but we'll save that for next time. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hit that thumbs up. Keg's going live here in 53 minutes.